The 2023 Eurovision Song Contest may be well and truly over, but that doesn't mean to say we have to stop talking about it, right? Because boy, is there a lot to talk about. But if you didn't watch part 1, make sure you do so, with the link in the description. In covering part 1, Liverpool was selected as the host city for this year's contest, which almost everyone knew about.
The Eurovision Song Contest is coming here.
Yeah. Is it? I didn't know, sorry.
In this video, we're going to look at the event itself, from the shows to the host city offerings, so buckle up, we have a lot to get through. Let's start with the artwork and slogan. The slogan United by Music reflected the unique circumstances of the 2023 contest, in which the UK was hosting on behalf of Ukraine, who couldn't host it due to the war. Plus, through the power of music, Eurovision brings peoples, cultures and nations together. As for the artwork, it was designed jointly by Super Union and Starlight Creative, British and Ukrainian agencies respectively. The colours of blue, yellow and pink reflected the two countries, while the heart's electrocardiogram was based on the idea of all of Europe's hearts beating as one.
Pretty striking. Usually it's blue, this year mainly yellow. This is the programme book, which is back to front on camera, but you can just about see it. Definitely stands out an absolute mile. A little bit similar to 2011 maybe, with the hearts, but that doesn't really bother me. I just thought that it looked really, really great. Quite modern, sleek, simple, absolutely. And the CD as well stands out a mile on my shelves too.
And the slogan United by Music I thought felt very poignant, given that the UK was hosting on behalf of Ukraine, and I think the slogan really showed that it very felt united the two nations together.
But it absolutely sums up what Eurovision is all about, people coming together from all corners to celebrate diversity, celebrate music, have a good time. United by Music completely sums it up in my opinion.
The opening and interval acts featured both British and Ukrainian performances. The contest started on a moving note with a VT performance featuring a young Liverpudlian boy and Ukrainian girl. Other popular highlights included pop sensation Rita Ora and the Liverpool Songbook, which saw recent Eurovision fan favourites return to perform their own spin on songs from the city.
Opening with Kalush Orchestra, the flag parade was great, and it didn't seem like it was too much having, Verka, having Tina Carroll. It didn't seem as though their little segments in the flag parade took too long. They were on stage and then off stage again in a flash, and we just got on with proceedings. It didn't seem like too much of an intrusion, if you see what I mean. And then the Liverpool Songbook was absolutely the highlight of the interval acts this year. Yes, I could be a bit picky and say, well, we didn't have a song by Frankie Goes to Hollywood or Echo and the Bunnymen, etc., etc., but the songs we had were good, the performances were pretty decent. I love Cornelia Jacobs, but I Turn to You, I'm surprised that they have that song in the Liverpool Songbook, but there we are. Daddy Frere sort of stole the show, unsurprisingly, with Hole Again. And then You'll Never Walk Alone, which is such a big song in Liverpool, such a big song anyway, but that was a really emotionally charged moment. A lot of people were sobbing in the Eurovision village where I was on that Saturday night. A lot of people were really loving that as well. Great to see Sonia back. All in all, that was a real highlight of the entire contest. It just flowed together really nicely, and something like that again in the future I think would actually be very welcome.
This year's Postcards were produced by independent company Windfall Films. They used pioneering drone technology and 360-degree cameras to showcase locations across Ukraine, the United Kingdom and each of the artists in their respective countries. Each postcard was centred around a theme such as castles, parks and buses.
shot in 3 different locations as well. Pretty seamless, really looked pretty cool. Had the text on screen as well, so we knew exactly where each location was. That was a nice touch. Can't really complain, I thought they were very, very good.
The live shows were presented by singer and TV personality Alicia Dixon, actress Hannah Waddingham, and Ukrainian singer Julia Senina. Talk show host and UK Eurovision commentator Graham Norton joined them for the final.
Graham Norton for the final, a safe pair of hands, very reliable, very witty. He was doing the commentary for the BBC for most of the evening as well, so fair play to him for juggling those 2 roles.
Julia did very well with her links as well. She did a great job being the Ukrainian presenter amongst the lineup.
Hannah Waddingham, famous anyway, even more famous now. I think she's definitely gone down very well with Eurovision fans. Maybe the UK's Petra, that sort of thing.
Alicia Dixon is very popular on TV and she's been on a lot of TV shows, but she hasn't had a lot of presenting roles, but I thought they all did exceptionally well. There was a lot of chemistry.
I thought the whole group of them together, I thought it was such a strange bunch. I honestly thought they would have gone with even bigger names alongside Graham to do it. But I can't really complain. They all did a pretty stellar job.
Officially unveiled by their Majesties King Charles III and Queen Camilla, the stage was designed by Julio Hamid and represented a hug to Ukraine, the artists and all of Europe. It included huge movable LED screens, video floor tiles, thousands of light fixtures, and of course the traditional pyrotechnic effects.
I can't complain, it looked very good. Obviously the Liverpool arena is not the biggest, so you are limited in what you can do in the space that you have. But honestly, it looked good on television. I've seen videos from people who filmed clips from inside the arena last week. It looked good there as well. So, on the whole, a pretty good job. Maybe not the most striking stage we've ever had. Certainly not the biggest. I'm sure next year's will be a lot bigger. Who knows? But certainly not a disappointment either. It looked very clean and very good.
A change to the format of announcing the qualifying acts in the semi-finals was planned. It involved all the artists standing on the stage, rather than sitting in the green room with their delegations. After 5 countries was announced, Alicia would briefly chat to them, then the remaining qualifiers would be revealed. In the wake of the final one, all the remaining artists would be shown in a split screen. However, after the first dress rehearsal of semi-final 1, the new format received a huge backlash from the fans, and producers also concluded that it was an improvement, so probably scrapped it.
My issue here was, why introduce it in the first place? Why fix something that isn't broken? It really does annoy me. Not just with Eurovision, but with things in general. When you tinker with something that's already working pretty seamlessly, it really, really bugs me. Why they had to even implement this in the first place, I don't know. Yes, they scrapped it pretty much straight away, but it just seemed like such an odd decision. Nobody asked for it, and it didn't need fixing. So I'm glad it was scrapped. Definitely sensed that there was a lot of excitement in the air, loads of fans, people with flags painted on their cheeks, Eurovision music everywhere you went, in shop windows. I went in one shop and there was this guy's, personal winners for the past decade or something right there in front of me. That was great to see. And you had banners and posters, and it was in the newspaper. I'll actually get it for you. The Liverpool record from last week is back to front on camera, but there it is. Look at that, front page news. All eyes on us. You can't really see this. Tonight's the night. City took Eurovision to its heart. The results have been magnificent. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Liverpool will have raked in the money over the past fortnight or so. And yeah, absolutely wonderful for them. Totally embraced the competition. Rich musical heritage. Did Ukraine proud, and what more can I say? The Eurovision Village was great as well. Just absolutely wonderful, and it was thrilling for me, being a Brit, to have the contest in my own country for the first time since 1998, when I was far too young to even know what Eurovision was anyway.
Being in Liverpool, it was amazing to see how much the locals really embraced Eurovision as a whole. As in, locals who aren't usually into Eurovision were visiting Eurovillage just to see what it's about and having fun, and lots of families coming together. and it was just so amazing to see, and everyone was so nice, and you could feel like you could talk to anyone because everyone was there for the same reason, and there was just an overall happy vibe. And I feel like maybe it was partially because the weather was nice most days, but overall I think Liverpool did an amazing job. The Euro Village was exceptional, for free, all that free entertainment, and the vibrancy it brought to the local community. And I feel like the local community are very grateful that this experience has come to their city.
Pretty much every broadcaster in the world is influenced by the BBC because they've been there and done that well before a lot of other people. So absolutely, I think 1998 was a real benchmark moment for Eurovision in terms of production. It sort of happened again this year, the BBC doing their bit. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember there being many technical issues on screen last week. Certainly not nearly as many as what we had in Turin. For the final in Turin, one of the cameras didn't even move, and we had some odd shots anyway, you know, underneath somebody's chair at one point. I don't know what that was all about, but this year's show, and including the semi-finals too, of course, seemed to be pretty seamless, very slick. Everything moved at a very nice pace. Decent presenters, great atmosphere. The BBC absolutely embraced Eurovision in a way that we didn't think was possible a few years ago, because it seemed as though they didn't care, and now they do. And there was a lot of responsibility on their shoulders this year because it wasn't our contest, it was Ukraine's, and I think everybody in Ukraine can feel very, very satisfied with how the contest was put together, how it came across on screen, the inclusion of Ukraine in the competition. And SVT next year, who we know also do a very good job every time they organise Eurovision. Yeah, they're definitely going to be looking at the 2023 competition in Liverpool and saying, well, that was really, really good. Now we've got to try and top it, but learn from it, etc., etc.